podcast about all things marketing. This is your new host Ashna Jha, and today I am joined with Arpan Biswas of Wonderchef. Arpan handles everything at Wonderchef as their Chief Marketing Officer. So Arpan, over to you. Welcome to EngageCast.
Thank you, Ashna. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to it.
Great. So Arpan, can you take us through your background? What did you do in the past and what are you doing right now? Where are you from?
So I hail from Calcutta. I have completed my engineering from IIT Kharagpur, and post which I did my MBA in marketing from Kozhikode, post which I have experience of close to 9 years now in different industries, starting from FMCG to real estate to apparel, and currently I'm working with Wonderchef, which is a consumer durables brand.
Great. So Arpan, I see that you have worked in various sectors, as you mentioned, real estate, textile, food, and now kitchenware. So what is the most difficult challenge that you have faced while marketing a product?
I think it's user engagement. That's something which is extremely important in marketing, and that's something which I have faced in different sectors. User engagement through good content creation, because I tend to believe that there are very few agencies in India which really create that kind of content, premium content, or content that and it reaches the customer in the right format. And also the fact that the biggest challenge, which I think is the customers reducing attention span. If you see, we used to have long TV ads of around 2 to 3 minutes a few decades back. From that, we have moved to a minute TV ads. From that, on digital, because the attention span is so less and because of the high clutter, customers don't tend to engage beyond, say, 20 to 30 seconds at max. And in those 20 to 30 seconds, it's difficult to pass on your message to the customer in a certain format. So that's something which I think is extremely difficult. And also the fact that most of the competition is talking about the exact same thing.
Right.
So there's huge clutter, and how to break that clutter and reach the customer, that's something that's challenging.
Great. So you talked about attention span. I think we have the great example of marketing attention span in the form of a very popular app called TikTok, where people are making, and India is leading the user base with respect to China and all. So and inorganic and organic, both are different sectors where people, where marketers tend to spend a lot onto their marketing budget. So what are your views on creating effective ads for the end consumers?
I think one is the ad should be in line with the overall brand imagery, what the brand stands for. It should be consistent with that. Secondly, it should be extremely crisp and short so that it conveys the message in the right time. And because media is so costly these days, so it's extremely important to share your message with the customer in the right format, the right channel. And I think third is, I tend to prefer to have some humor in that, because that's something which cuts the clutter and which the customer engages with. So I would say these are the three. Yes.
Great. So, Arpan, just an off the beat question: what does a customer journey look like at Wonderchef?
It's actually very different for different customers, to be honest. But if I have to share a single customer journey, I think given the category we are in, which is extremely high involvement. It's primarily need-based. The customer requirement is need-based, not impulse purchase, like in apparel or in, say, FMCG, some categories. So a customer plans his purchase and plans probably 2 months or 3 months before the product is in a deteriorating phase, and decides that probably a month down the line or once the product stops working. So on that, there are two kinds of customers. One is customers who come to the store and ask as my brand. So I want a Wonderchef. or I want some other brand. And the other kind of customer who comes to the store and they are not sure which is the brand which they want, and they're willing to switch. They're the customers who are willing to try out new things which has come to the market, and they generally look for what is best in terms of customer reviews, in terms of what is being proposed or what kind of USPs the product has. But mostly what we have seen is first is customer realizes the need to purchase. Secondly, he or she researches online on which dealers or distributors they come reach out to them and or talk to their friends and family. Then go to the store, check out. One thing which I have realized recently is each and every customer who is going to the store, they check out online pricing at the same moment to see if they get the same thing online at a cheaper price. Right. And finally, if the price is comparable to online, they will go ahead with the purchase from the store, or they will purchase from online. So yeah.
Cool. So in kitchenware, mostly we see that retail leads the customer journey, right? So people, mostly women, tend to go to the retail stores, feel the product, if it's good for them or not, and then purchase it. So according to you, what should be the highlights of the retail plus e-commerce marketplaces while marketing a certain product?
Today is all about content. How do you share the top, say, 2 USPs or 3 USPs of the product to the customer in the shortest span of time through the right format? Retail space, it can be through a POS. In online, it's through A+ content, or it's through reviews. So it's user-generated reviews which shares the feedback with the customers directly. So I think the focus is obviously on content and producing really high-class content which make the brand look better and which conveys the right USPs or the right POP and PODs with the customer as in a right format. I think if these are done well, then there will be, and these are consistent across the different platforms we are present in, then it makes sense and the customer gets consistent information from all across, and that will help him or her in their purchase journey.
Right, true. So since you talked about content, Arpan, I want to ask, what are the SOP, standard operating procedure for producing effective and relatable content at Wonderchef?
Okay. I think the first thing which we do before even launching a product is reach out to the customers to understand what they're looking for. So a product, which P is heavy for that product? Is it if you are launching a new product, is it primarily for lower pricing to cater a lower price point market, or some innovation in the product, or say some promotion which you are doing with the product, a single piece versus a set? For example, we sell individuals of cookware plus set of cookware. How do you take the product to the market?
Right.
Now, in understanding this, we first understand what the customer requirement is, then go back to our drawing board and talk with our product team to get the right product on board. And then what is that one point of differentiation in the product which is different from the products in the market? We try highlighting that for the specific product. We reach out to agencies to create static as well as video content in the right format. Once the base content is ready, then we decide which are the right platforms through which the content can be shared with the customer.
Right.
Now, for example, if I'm talking about Amazon and Flipkart, you have A+ content for them. We create a lot of A+ content that's below the product page, so that when the customer goes to the product, so that is kind of replacing the touch and feel of the product. So he goes and sees the paragraphs of content about the product. For example, the 5-layer coating in our cookware, or say the 2-year warranty and how come we are giving it to a warranty based on what all steps we have taken to ensure the product is better quality than rest of competition,
right,
etc. Or else in case of a NutriBlend, how is it compact compared to any other product in the market, or what are the different colors it comes in, or say what is the power of the product vis-a-vis some other product in the market, because each customer has his or her different requirements. So based on that, a customer goes and makes the purchase. So that's the first step, understanding what the requirement from the customer's point of view and highlighting that specific requirement in all the content which we share with the through the different platforms.
Right. So, what kind of content is working well for Wonderchef? Video content or text-based content?
Video any given day. If you see the change in paradigm in the last few years, it has totally moved from static to video. Because no one wants to spend time reading. Video works also because it's audio, right? You don't have to. Customers are becoming more and more lazy. So you see something, you get to hear something. You don't have to read anything. Like back in those days when newspaper ads used to be the most popular medium. Say a few decades back, when newspaper ads used to be verbose, full of content, full of words. Now, if you look at the newspaper ads, it's hardly 3 to 4 words, and that's enough to convey the message to the customer. So video as a platform has really worked for us, and we create a video for each and every product which we have. Now, where there are close to 400 SKUs, we have the entire kitchen range. It's difficult for us to communicate about the USPs or the features of each and every product. So we create videos, in-house videos, which we boost through social media for the customers to know and understand more about the product, about the benefit of the product, what the product does to them, and how is it making the lives easier for them.
So how do you combine the price as well as the product offering while communicating with the consumer? What do you think is more important, pricing or the features?
I didn't get that. As in, see, that depends. If I'm reaching out to a customer, the aspirers in the pyramid, for them pricing is important. But for customers who are looking at specific features and willing to pay a slightly higher price, for them features are more important. So there are different kind of customers. So it's always a mix of that. But in a high involvement category like ours, I think generally features tend to be more important than pricing. But it also depends on, as I mentioned, it depends on price sensitivity too for the customer and for the product category. But in our communication, we show the hero product in the category and mention the starting price point so that we can develop consideration for the product and the category.
Right. So how do you deliver a personalized experience at scale across while communicating with the users related to the product or after the purchase?
Personalized experience, thanks to digital, it's possible to provide personal experience at scale. So, and we have also tied up with WebEngage recently to understand customers' journey on our website and show him or her personalized messages suiting his or her behavior. For example, a customer who doesn't tend to spend too much time on our website, or a customer who has come to our website a number of times but hasn't made any purchase, we have different messaging for them. We have different journeys charted for the customers, different section of customers, and we show different messaging to them through all of that. And obviously, there are dynamic ad posting through Google.
Great. So if I may know the channels which are working really well in your favor, it can be SMS, it can be email, or it can be web push notifications.
See, all channels have a certain role. SMS has worked well for us whenever we have communicated a new product launch or some offer which is going to the market, right? Email works well for us to share content or talk about new product offering to the market, wherein we highlight the product USPs.
Right.
Video has worked well, as in Facebook has worked well for us whenever we have engagement with the customer, wherein we share some engaging content with the customer. It can be engaging in terms of the format, it can be animation engaging, it can be cartoon engaging. We have seen yesterday we have released a cartoon regarding PV Sindhu's gold, and it has we are a new format which we have tried out, and it has really done well for us. In just I think in a single day we have got close to, I think, close to 1 million views in that.
Wow.
That has really worked well for us. So content, it totally depends on the channel, what is working well. TV has a certain purpose to build the brand. A print ad has a certain purpose. So different channels have different requirements, and whenever, depending on the business requirement, we decide what to highlight and what not to for the specific channel.
Okay, so we know about social media, right? You go on to Facebook's business marketplace and you post you make the ads and you post it. So, what about the e-commerce platforms like Amazon and Flipkart, which has now rolled out ads uh, p- uh, for the vendors too? So, what are your views on that, and how do you plan your ads on these platforms?
Sure. So Amazon and Flipkart, Amazon has, I think, AMS, which is primarily the CPC medium, and Amazon also has the CPM ads primarily for their the big the days which they have, Amazon sale or the brand days or the category days which they have. So we are, and for Flipkart, I think it's brand ads, and they also have the Big Billion Days. So we are tying up with both of them, depending on our sale in these platforms. We put in a certain amount, certain percentage of that, and we divide that in two categories. One is CPC, which is based on the searches
Right.
which the customers make, and we try to highlight our product in the category searches or in the brand name searches and try to get as much place as possible. In Amazon, you have three different layers. For example, a sponsored ad, wherein you can change the customer's decision at the page of purchase. At the competition's page of purchase, you can show a small ad to him. Or a sponsored brand ad, or which earlier used to be called headline search, wherein if someone searches for a competition product brand, I'll be showing my ad instead. Or else you have a product display ad. So there are different ads in Amazon, which has really worked for us. Similar to Flipkart, Flipkart has been slightly slow on their ad platform, but they have picked up recently, and we have started investing with them. They have similar, I think they have PLAs and other ads, which has started picking up. And the ROI we have seen is fantastic from these ads, which has given us ROI of as high as 10 in some cases. For every 1 rupee spent, we are getting 10 rupee worth of sales for us. So yeah, and other than this, we are also investing heavily on the brand days or any category specific event or the big shopping festivals, which Amazon and Flipkart have. And we have seen good results from that.
Great. So, how are you measuring growth right now with respect to brand experience and engagement? What are the key metrics?
I think the first and the foremost is sales from different channels. How on a year-on-year basis the value and volume of sales have improved. Second is the category growth. So we are present across 8 categories, out of which we see how the growth is vis-a-vis the category sizes, at what CAGR the category is growing versus at what rate we are going. And thirdly, from a brand point of view, we see how is the overall awareness for the brand growing in terms of top of the mind awareness, of aided and unaided awareness. How is the usage for the brand going for customers who are aware of the brand? How many of these guys are using the brand? And lastly, how is the imagery for the brand moving? So is the brand perceived to be a premium brand? Is the brand perceived to be a value for money brand? Is the brand perceived to be a relevant brand for the customer? How is the trust for the brand? So these are a few of the matrices which we look at to see how the brand performance is.
So, I think my favorite question. So, kitchenware tends to be a product category where people are really sensitive about the prices. So, if the competition will offer them lower prices and good value, people, mostly women, will run through it. So, do you think are discounts an effective long-term growth strategy, and how does it affect customer loyalty?
Honestly, I don't think discount is a strategy. It's just a tactical measure to boost sales, short-term sales. But given the rise in online shopping, wherein big e-commerce players are willing to shelve off their margin to increase their GMV, it's too prevalent these days. Also tend to believe that customer loyalty isn't a function of discount, honestly. Customers are loyal to the brand's promise, what the brand stands for, be it the quality, design, innovation, health, convenience, benefit of usage in our case. But yes, some customers are willing to shift to another brand if they get a superior price. That is a discount. But they would surely move back in the long run if the original brand, if the new brand doesn't deliver as per the promises which has shared. right? Uh, Discounting is obviously a necessary evil and should be in line with competition without going overboard. At times, depending on the business needs, we have to discount our products.
Right.
We said that we don't really use it as a strategy. We believe that discounting is just to boost short-term sales, and the overall loyalty for the brand should be dependent on what the brand is delivering on its promises.
That's a great insight, Arpan, I would say. So, okay, we talked about the competition and the pricing strategies. So, what do you think? What sets the brand like Wonderchef apart from the competition?
I think primarily it's innovation. If when I joined this brand around 8 months back, and when I did my market visits to understand what the brand stands for, primarily the brand it's all about innovation. Innovation, I don't mean technically in terms of technology. It's innovation in terms of product as well. So if you look at our NutriBlend, which has totally revolutionized the mixer grinder market. We have got a good chunk from the market already, just being in the business for the last 4 to 5 years. NutriBlend, for example, is extremely compact product. It's inverted design vis-a-vis most of the competition mixer grinders are, which are straight, which are difficult to wash. So this product innovation is one. Innovation in terms of marketing as well. If you have if you manage to follow our social media, you will see we are one of the top brands in terms of social media presence in the category. There are brands which are 6 times higher than us in terms of revenue, and which has been in the market for around 6 to 70 years, but their social media presence is 1/10 of ours. And we take pride in saying that we are a brand which is totally built on digital, and we haven't really gone out and spent a lot on mass media, because you can never get that kind of share of voice with the kind of share of spend or share expenditure which we can do at this point of time vis-a-vis competition. And this is an extremely heavy ad spend category, wherein there are some 500, 600 CR or more ad spend per year.
Wow.
Secondly, I would say, just to add to it, if you look at the marketing which we are doing, it's extremely innovative. We have done animation which has not been used as a medium by any of the other players. We have just yesterday, we have tied up with a very famous cartoonist, and we are looking at topical posts and how to make Indian housewives feel special, rather homemakers feel special. Because I think Indian homemakers are the least appreciated lot. They do so much, but still they never get appreciated for the work they are doing, for holding their families together, for doing so much without getting any formal pay. If they worked anywhere else for the same work, they would be earning in lakhs.
Right.
Secondly, I think it's the quality of the product, what sets us apart. If you see our products come with warranties, which very few competition give. So that's something which really stands out. And thirdly, the way we have been able to make a niche for us in the segment is through design. Be it the colorful NutriBlend or the Royal Velvet set or the colored non-stick. We are the pioneer in colored non-stick in India. And we have totally disrupted the market and made a space for us in the segment. We are currently the top selling premium non-stick brand in India across most channels. So that's something which sets us apart from the competition.
Great. So, Arpan, when we last interacted, you talked about Alexa-enabled products, Alexa and Google Home-enabled products. So, can you enlighten our listeners on marketing these products, wherein we see that like most of the homes in India have not adopted these technologies. So how do you market them, and what are the challenges?
Sure. So you're right. Most homes haven't adopted this technology, but we are extremely hopeful that it is going to happen very soon, given the convenience an Alexa or an app provides to a customer. Having said that, we have always been the pioneer in doing new things, and we believe that for the target group which we cater to, So we are slightly premium than most competition in the market, and the target group we cater to, they are the guys who adapt new things, new technology. And to retain them as a Wonderchef customer, we need to grow with them, or we need to develop our as a brand with them. That's why we have tied up with Amazon Alexa, and we have created apps for NutriBlend and NutriPod, wherein they can use this app to they have a list of recipes in these apps. For Alexa, for example, you don't need to use your hands. You can, through voice control, you can work on recipes on NutriPod as well as NutriBlend while cooking. So what happens during cooking? You will be using both your hands, and the entire you'll be busy engaging with the entire process. So it's difficult to click or go through a YouTube video, stop and move forward, move back. Through Alexa, that is possible. We have made an extremely streamlined recipe Alexa skill. It's called a skill in Alexa, which helps you to move the recipe at your own pace. You can stop whenever you want. You can go back. You can actually add to the grocery list if something is not available. Same goes for the Android and Apple apps too.
Right. So, okay, getting the conversation back to the multi-channel strategies and how Wonderchef is planning to grow digitally. So, what do you think? What is most important while driving when we have channels like SMS, social media, we have web push, notifications, etc. So, what is important while devising these strategies?
I didn't get that. As in, what is important as in?
Like what factor is most important? So for SMS, you have different segments of users. For social media, you have users which keep different kind of mentality, right? So how do you combine all of these strategies in at one place?
Okay. See, at the end of the day, we are more or less talking to the same user. A person who is doing social media is also looking at his or her SMS, right? It's just that what content goes to them through the different channels varies. And what expectation do they have from a social media post vis-a-vis a SMS or an email or a TV ad or a hoarding. So that's what changes. So as I told you earlier as well, the content depends on the channel, and we ensure that for more better impact, we create content as per the channel requirement. SMS, we have seen that it works best for any kind of offers. So on our website, whenever we have some new campaign running, we reach out to them saying the last few days left. We would plan to close the campaign, or the discount is going to be removed. We reach out to them saying you have few days left. Or for example, if you're doing a new launch for a product, SMS has worked for us with the right text. Or an emailer has really worked for us whenever we're launching a new product to share the product benefit or the USPs of the product with the customer. Different channels have different content requirement, and based on the business requirement, we reach out to the customer through different channels for the maximum benefit.
Great. So now comes our favorite question, and which we ask to each guest who comes on our show. So what do you think is the long-term growth strategy, acquisition or retention?
Honestly, it's always retention. It is, but having said that, it also depends on which phase the firm is in. If you ask a firm which is there for the last 6 months, it's obviously acquisition, right? But for a firm like us, which is more stable, which has been there in the business for 5 years plus, I think it's retention, because retention is, as per our numbers, there's 1/7 the cost of acquisition. So if I've lost a customer to someone else, it's very difficult to get the customer back. We are not even sure what kind of spends we need to get him or her back. But as I have already mentioned, for new players, the focus needs to be on acquisition.
So how do you keep in touch with the customer who you have newly acquired?
We reach out to them through emailers, SMSs. We reach out to them through our through WebEngage now that we have it on board. We reach out to them through the same digital, where so we have seen that customers generally the journey which they have on social media, first they come and check our videos, and because we do a lot of video marketing, and they follow our page and then they go to the website. That's more or less the journey which we have seen. So reach out, we release at least 3 to 4 videos per week, educating about the new products which we have launched, how it is going to impact their lives in a better manner. If you see all of our products, they are slightly innovative in some manner. So what is that one thing, that one problem that product is going to solve for them? So we keep educating them on that. For retention, we have started something called Wonder Point. It's a wallet which we have created internally, wherein we give some percentage of the transactional value which they purchase from our website, so that they come back and there's high stickiness. They can redeem it in the next purchase. If they share our post on social media, they share our product on social media from our website, and if their friends and families tend to purchase it, they will be getting some percentage of Wonder Point too. So we have also looked at an online MLM model, a multi-level marketing model online, wherein we encourage the customers to talk, share feedback about the product which they have used. And that also helps us in unpaid marketing, wherein they share the feedback, and through word of mouth, which you have seen is a very strong driver for the brand, for the category in the offline space. We want to take it online, where they share feedback with the friends and families, and they come and purchase through our website. So that's another good way of retaining the customer, and also reaching out to their friends and families.
Right. So since you talked about MLM, I see that Wonderchef started as an MLM product, right?
Yes.
And now it is dominating the major e-commerce marketplaces which we have in India. So how was the transition from home-to-home product delivery to now being the master of e-commerce?
Yeah. So I think master of e-commerce is a good title to have. I think any new player wants to test market its concept, which is very different than what used to be sold in Indian markets, to a certain success before spending on building the brand or building a huge team, which is a fixed cost. So that's when our MD, Mr. Ravi Saxena, decided that MLM is the right model to go to the market, which is not a cash intensive model where you're going to invest a lot, and through commissions and through partners which we have, we will be able to understand how the product feedback is from the market, what kind of traction the product is getting from the market. So we started, which is self-funded channel based on margins given to our partners. Once we realized variable margins depending on sales for sure, right? Once we realized our products are loved by customers, we got the confidence to enter the mass channels like commerce and general trade. And since we have done that, and we have seen extremely positive response. In most of the categories we have entered, we are the number 1 player in the category. Number 1, on few cases number 2, gearing up to become the number 1. So yeah, that is why we started as of a DTH player, wherein we could. DTH is a direct to home, it's MLM model, which we call internal DTH, where you can test market the product, get feedback about the product from the users before going for a mass launch, right? And improve the product and go for a mass launch in different mass channels like online, general trade, modern trade.
Right. So how is the product acceptance in tier 2 and tier 3 cities as compared to tier 1 cities?
So primarily our sale still comes from tier 1 cities because of our distribution, mainly is in these cities. But that kind of gives us immense opportunity in tier 2 and 3 cities. From the business, from the growth which we have seen in tier 2 and 3 cities, we have seen that given that products are slightly aspirational and premium, we used to have this belief that the products are meant for tier 1 cities, but that is not the case. The kind of growth and acceptance and traction which you have seen for our products in tier 2 and 3 cities, and the focus is on growing our business in general trade now in these cities through mass marketing. And the products have been accepted. And given that we have Mr. Sanjeev Kapoor as our brand ambassador, that has also helped because he has immense traction in these cities. So I think it's time for us, and we are also devising a plan on the go-to-market strategy for this tier 2 and 3 cities, and how to make the brand known to each and every person who is looking to cook a healthy, convenient, tasty meal and use our products in the future.
Right. So how are you planning to grow, horizontally or vertically, as in by introducing more products or going deep down in limited products?
Every organization wants to grow both ways, horizontally as well as vertically. But the focus right now for us is vertical, to increase the overall depth for each category we're in. Right now we have 3 power sub brands. Say choppers is one, the non-stick cookware is one, and third is the NutriBlend. We want to increase it to 10 in the next 3 years, wherein OTG, which is doing really well for us, and is to pick up a stainless steel segment, has to do. We intend to be a number 1 player in the segment. So yes, primarily we want better depth and grow vertically, because we have close to 400 SKUs, and looking at working capital and how easy or difficult is it for the sales team to sell so many SKUs, we plan to consolidate in the longer run.
Right. Cool. So now comes my favorite round called Express Round, wherein we ask you a question and you give the answer as fast as you can, just like a rapid fire round.
Sure.
Let's start.
Sure.
So if not a marketing professional, then who?
I think I am most suited to be a social worker. I have always believed that I'm a socialist marketeer. Marketeers are supposed to be capitalist, but I think my traits and habits overall, I would have been a social worker if not a marketer.
Great. So if not working, then what would you be doing?
Either traveling or playing video games.
Best. Tell us your dream job.
Second, I think I've already mentioned about being a social worker. If not that, I'll mostly be in advertising. I think I enjoy the creative field a lot, and that's a space I want to be in the future, maybe someday.
A life quote you stand by persistently.
I think one of the recent ones which I've heard by someone called John Rockefeller. It goes like, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great."
Perfect. Your idol with respect to your profession.
Piyush Pandey, no one else.
Wow. So do you have any advice for the aspiring marketers who want to build their career into marketing?
The way I look at marketing and what I have realized in the last 9 years, I think every single person, starting from a finance professional to a operations guy, everyone is a marketer in their own rights.
Mm-hmm.
And so a marketer, I would say a person who is holding the post of a brand manager or a marketing manager needs to be extremely open to ideas, because the best of ideas generally come not from the agencies, it comes from the internal teams, the sales guys. Extremely open to ideas, because everyone in the organization or even a customer are potential marketeers and can really change the fortune of your firm through the right ideas.
Right. So the last question of this podcast. So Arpan, you have done your engineering into civil from IIT KGP. Am I right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So then you chose marketing as a career. Why marketing? Why not anything else? What drives you about being a marketer?
You should be asking it to the 50% guys who have chosen engineering and then went on to, or more than 50% every other person these days. At that age, you want to be at the best place, whichever is possible for you, right? With the limited intellect and limited abilities. So that is something which had worked out for me, and I went for it. But after going there, doing civil engineering, I realized that my passion lies in the creative field. And I was good with numbers. I have always been good with numbers. So I saw that these two strengths which I have, what is the best way to leverage these? And I realized that marketing and all the spaces where in advertising you get to do a lot of creative work, and in marketing is all about numbers. getting the best out of the every money spent. So I thought maybe marketing is the right space for me. That's when I was keen to get into a marketing organization from my IIM days. I got placed in Tata Motors, which was extremely it was a fantastic experience for me. Those 3 years where I got to travel to a number of different places, and marketing is all about being open to things and understanding how what customers think, and I got a brilliant exposure there. Post which I have had really fantastic exposure across different industries and different categories.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the decision which I had taken long back of being in marketing really helped. And also I think as a person, it is believed that marketers are supposed to be extroverts. That is the popular perception. I am not really an extrovert, but it has worked well for me. And let's see how it goes. Right, tomorrow I'll be in finance or something. I don't know. But right now it's marketing.
Great. Thank you so much, Arpan. Thank you so much for being on EngageCast. It was a pleasure talking to you. And we got a really, really deep insights on how the market works and how the user behaviors work. So thank you so much again, Arpan. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, Ashna. Thanks for having me here.